Welcome to GearCheckGames. This is part 40 of our commentary for The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. Last time we finally gathered the last of the Triforce shards, and were able to re-enter Hyrule, and in this part, we are finally taking the fight to Ganon himself. For real this time. But first we gotta check on Zelda.
Yeah, she's probably hungry. Did you bring her something?
Yeah, she started eating the statues.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, those weren't like that last time.
She's actually a Goron.
Oh god. Yeah, maybe in like the line between Ocarina of Time Zelda, or the genealogy rather, between Ocarina of Zelda and like modern Zelda, there was a Goron somewhere.
It'd just be great if you do that scene where like the king's like, oh, Tetra is actually Princess Zelda, and then he waves his magic fairy godmother wand, and there's like a beam of light, and Tetra turns into this big old Goron wearing Zelda's dress. It's like, ooh.
Wait,
yeah.
You're still wearing the mask.
Yes.
Some cuts, like all of the proper cutscenes, like there's the ones that are like separate. They're still like in engine, but they're like the cinematography is a lot more in depth. But then there are ones like this that are just kind of a little more cheaply produced.
Oh,
Man, that's one thing to like laugh at somebody from the sky, saying like, "Ha, I tricked you." But it's another thing to laugh at him and say, "You have deceived yourself, you fool."
Yeah, man, that's like the ultimate shame for old Link here.
oh man.
So yeah. So here we have the final tier of Dark Nuts, which I believe I incorrectly stated made their first appearance in the Wind Temple. Not so, in fact, these guys are the ones that have the cape, and you do need to get rid of the cape before you're able to really
Oh yeah.
put the smack down on these guys.
Is the cape hiding like the straps of their armor?
I guess so. And you know, it's a neat little set piece, like locking you in here, like after the revelation that Zelda's gone and all. But after the Savage Labyrinth, this is small potatoes.
I was starting to get a little bit worried though after you beat them and the fire ring wasn't disappearing.
Uh huh. Yeah, I think I had a little moment there. I was like, okay, any second now. Oh no, it's one of Ganon's diabolical traps.
Yeah, that's something I've always just like thought about when I'm playing games. Like, it would be so easy for the villain to just like put a fire ring around you and just never get rid of it.
Uh huh.
Or like
Damn, he beat all the enemies. I have to keep my word. It's the villain's code.
Yeah. Or just like take away the master key in a dungeon.
Oddly, this little audio cue here, or this music cue, when we finally dispel the barrier around the castle, isn't on the soundtrack.
Oh.
So I always get to this point in the game, because I listen to this soundtrack a lot, but when I get to this point in the game, I'm like, wait a minute. That's not a song I recognize.
So wait, so now you can venture forth into Hyrule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, because there's not much of it.
Oh.
And honestly, I'm okay with that. Like, I think it didn't occur to me until, like, this playthrough, but in contrast to Ocarina of Time, because, you know, this is clearly supposed to resemble, like, something you would see around Hyrule Field in that game.
Yeah.
But in contrast to that game where it feels all triumphant and, like, magical and you just want to get out and explore it, this one just has kind of this kind of quiet, eerie ambience to it.
Yeah.
Like this very understated music as you just kind of fight all these waves of enemies. And to me, it really sells the idea of Hyrule. It's this kind of derelict, forgotten place.
That's such contrast to other Zeldas, because like most of the time you're like living in and exploring Hyrule as like a place, but then in this one, Hyrule is like you said, it's like a strange destination.
Hyrule is an idea. It's a state of mind.
It's almost uncanny, and I really appreciate it.
That's like that Beyond Ghibli guy I was talking about. how Zelda does post-apocalypses really well.
Uh-huh. I still need to watch that video.
It's pretty good. The guy's a good reviewer.
Yeah.
Gotta watch his Breath of the Wild / Ghibli inspiration video.
Mm-hmm. I'll take a look at it later.
It's a good.
But yeah, that's all the Hyrule Field you're getting, folks. Because it is time for the final... I mean, it's not like a traditional dungeon. But okay, whatever. It's the final dungeon, Ganon's Tower. And if you played Ocarina of Time, you should recognize the setup of this first area.
Yes. With its hub, spoke, and wheel type of setup.
Yeah, are you guys ready for some deja vu? Because I think the budget ran out.
Oh no!
But we gotta pad out the rest of the game somehow.
Yeah, they couldn't afford color anymore.
Did they just reuse some dungeon elements?
Yep, here we are again in Dragon Roost Cavern, or at least an area resembling it. And you know, forgive my snarkiness. I know this is kind of like a cost-cutting measure that they do in a lot of Zelda games toward the end. I actually like Ganon's Tower. And again, this might just be one of those personal things, but I find that it has a really appropriate kind of surreal vibe to it. Just seeing all these old places again, kind of just like spliced into this disparate-looking tower hub. Just kind of, I don't know.
Just like Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Well, but Ocarina of Time, I feel like those environments were blended together with the castle a little bit better. Like, it wasn't like the exact same assets, though I could be remembering that wrong. Whereas this one is just like complete, like just you go through a door and suddenly you're in Dragon Roost Cavern again.
Maybe you are in Dragon Roost Cavern.
Oh, no.
They forgot to paint the rest of the room.
Did the Time Eater get loose again?
Oh, God.
Oh, what is that?
Looks like we need to call Sonic and have him run really fast through time to fix the dimensions.
Whoa.
I mean, that's not the actual plot of Sonic Generations. What do you think?
Whoa.
So here we are fighting ye old Goma again in sepia tone.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I feel like these would have been much more interesting and, like, worthwhile, I guess, if they would have, and it would have taken more thought and work, but if they would have let you keep all the items you'd accumulated and actually, like, worked in alternative methods for beating the bosses. Like, that could have been really interesting. Like, fight the bosses again, but they're like, you can't beat them the way that you did the first time because they've wisened up. So you gotta find a new way to beat them with the new items you have.
Yeah, they'd still be able to reuse, like, the boss, like, the models, at least, in the arena.
Yeah.
They'd probably have to create some new animations and attack patterns, but it wouldn't feel, like, so blatantly, like, copied and pasted as it does here. But, I on the one hand, I do kind of appreciate that, for the most part, these fights are kind of a curb stomp. Because of the Master Sword. Even though it does limit you to the items that you had at this point in the game, the Master Sword does deal out, like, way more damage than your normal sword. So the first two bosses we're going to fight, at least, go down a lot quicker than they did on the initial fight. And if nothing else, it at least gives you a nice sense of progression.
Oh, wow, look at that damage.
Also, the hero's charm gives us these nice health bars on the bosses.
Oh, yeah,
so
I completely forgot about the health bars.
Wait, are those transitions, like, in the game, or did you do that?
Nope,
That's in the
game.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, like I said, this part of the game gets a little weird.
Like you said, surreal.
Yeah, a little psychedelic.
I like that they do give you, like, a mini dungeon and then a refight with the boss. I like it.
God. Can you imagine how much longer Ganon's Tower would have taken in Ocarina if it also had boss refights? Because that's like twice as many boss refights.
Well, and this one doesn't even have all of them. It's only got Dragon Roost, Forbidden Woods, Earth Temple, and Wind Temple. Like, Helmrock King and Godon are nowhere to be found in this dungeon, and that kind of makes me sad because I like those bosses.
Dungeons exist. Probably partially because of that reason, because they're not represented here.
Mm-hmm. Helmrock King, once he was defeated, he went back to his true calling, and that's to be a chef.
In Mario Odyssey.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh god.
I thought that's the joke you were making.
It is now.
Yeah, I like that canon.
I mean, yeah,
that's good.
Obviously, who wouldn't make that joke?
Well, I was trying to do a callback to like the first or second episode of this entire playthrough, where I said the Helmrock King sounds like an ingredient or something in like a soup.
Yeah, it's a cooker be cooked world.
Look at this guy remembering previous episodes we've recorded.
What, you don't watch our episodes? Uh-oh.
Hey everyone, watch our episodes. The great content. Like, comment, subscribe.
This episode of GearCheckGames brought to you by GearCheckGames.
And Domino's Pizza.
Hey. Using that leaf flare trick.
Mm-hmm. The one and only time I ever use it in this playthrough. Interesting thing about these boss fights, and you can tell here on Link's model, he's still reacting to like the actual lighting from the original boss fight, even though the boss itself and the environment are in grayscale.
I'll have to watch it now.
This is actually just Ganon's magic making Link colorblind.
Oh, you're right. He is kind of purplish, isn't he?
Also, they may have pretty much recycled these boss fights verbatim, but at least we got little music remixes to kind of make him sound all warbly and spooky.
Oh! One cycle!
You almost don't first cycle the boss when you have the fully upgraded Master Sword.
Yeah, that would be almost as shameful as dying in the first proper dungeon.
That never happens. I like how there's these moblin, or miblet, whatever these are called.
Miblins.
Bokoblins.
That's the one.
With like little dinky wooden shields. Oh, boss, we'll hold them off for you.
One thing I forgot to showcase that's kind of funny is that this is the hardest one.
Yeah.
Little mini hallway by far. And it's again it's nothing like ridiculous. Well, not that one. That one's just you can just kind of rush through that one. This one and the next one are where it gets a little bit annoying because we're gonna get a revisit here from our good old friends, the purple choo-choos.
Oh.
And we're gonna have to freeze them with the mirror shield, walk them over to that switch on the left there, and then get back to the stairs before they go up.
All the while dodging these pose.
Yeah.
Oh. Gotta be quick.
Yeah. Gotta just stand there and look at the switch for a second.
I'm imagining Link literally pulling up a Nintendo Switch. This is the best item in my arsenal. Oh wow, you barely made that.
In the Switch version, maybe he will.
Dude, I've had situations where I literally made it as the last step was going up.
This last one just straight up cheats, though. What are you doing? What are you doing?
The light is
back there.
you.
Go around. Okay.
You're luring the purple chew jellies closer to the button.
I think that was my thought process, but I didn't, think it through, really.
Wait, oh, I get it. Yeah, you're going for the furthest one. That makes sense. Smart. You gotta play smart.
So yeah, we solved the puzzle. We did what the game asked of us. So we just gotta go through and finish up, right? Just go and fight the... Nope.
And it goes up during the cutscene.
Yep. That is, as far as I know, unless you're like a speedrunner and you know all the glitches. Throw the bomb, you fool!
I think that was the one where I was running, and then the dude came up, and I was like, oh, god damn it. And I just ran right past him and got on just as the last step went up.
Oh, wow.
So you kind of cheesed the mechanic.
Unfortunately, I was not so lucky. Well, take
God,
two.
that's such a dick move for the developers.
It would be even more of a dick move when the second one comes up.
Oh no.
Ganon himself comes out of the ground. Hey kid, how's it going?
There's something really satisfying about the way those stairs go up and down.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be even better if there was physics in this game, like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, they launch you into
just
the air.
launches you into the air.
Like those
Oh,
pistons in the shrines.
Oh.
Not the hammer.
Wait, all you need is the shield for this fight, right?
Yeah, for some reason I was trying to go for the hammer, though.
You wanted to smash him.
Wait a minute, this ain't the Helmarat King.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you got the super spin to make this eerily easily. Or
I like
Yeah.
that he restarts his scream every time he hits someone. It's just like, wah.
Remix!
he's collecting the skulls. I love, like, this boss is supposed to be creepy, but he just ends up being silly.
Yeah. He's just a big old
This is
doughboy.
Wind Waker. We can't make it too creepy.
Yeah. Except the Redeads.
Oh yeah.
Every
And,
Zelda gets one.
The Redeads
I never really thought the Redeads in Wind Waker were too creepy.
Really?
Because of the big bulbous heads.
Well, I don't know. I feel like they're at least like pretty intense for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate them more now that I'm older, but like as a kid, I didn't really think that they were just more goofy than creepy looking to me. And now that I'm older, like I can appreciate them more from a design standpoint, but also that kind of stuff doesn't really creep me out as much anymore. So it's just kind of like.
Yeah, it could also be that I played this game before Ocarina.
Oh yeah, the Redeads in Ocarina really messed me up as a kid. Hell, I was deathly terrified of the Style Children.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had a friend in elementary school who claimed that like he. What was his story again? It was something with either the Stall Children or the Wolfos, but like there were certain areas where he couldn't bring himself to go because he thought those enemies were going to come out and attack him.
Oh yeah, the nights for me in Hyrule Field were pretty much just like as soon as I got the Hylian shield, just when the wolf howls, just crouch down in one spot and just huddle there. Until they were all gone.
Just hunker down and wait.
Yeah, I remember there was one time I was looking for spots where the Style Children couldn't get me at night because I was too afraid to fight them. This was before I knew that they just like died in the water. But I was like, alright, logical kid brain thoughts, they come up out of the ground. So all I gotta do is get up on a spot where there's no ground to come up. So like, you know those spots where there's like the kind of stone walls that are
yeah, the little like chest high walls
coming out of the hills. No, not the chest high ones, but the there's like the hill and then there's like a stone wall coming out of it, so it's kind of like a triangle shape or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd climb up on that and run out to the end. I did that. And I was like, alright, this is made of stone. They can't come up out of here. And it's like they can't climb, so they can't get up here. And so I just ran out to the edge of the wall and went in first person mode, just looking around the field, surveying the land, feeling proud of myself for outsmarting the Style Children. And just kind of wondering why I didn't see any of them coming up out of the ground, so I was like, I wonder where they are. Maybe they're just not coming up because I'm not on the ground. And I turn around, still in first person mode, and there's one literally right in my face. And my dad was watching a movie, like, on the other side of the room, on the other TV. So he got to hear me just like scream at the top of my lungs, smash that pause button, and run across the room.
Daddy, take
just
it back
like,
to
oh
the
my
store.
god, what is going on?
Was it one of those, do we need to take that game back to the store?
So is anybody else enjoying this funky electric organ version of Malgara's music?
Yeah. I actually really like how the monochrome looks in this room. Like, it kind of works for this boss, really.
Yeah. Kind of matches the yellowy lighting it had in the Wind Temple.
Yeah. This reminds me of the... what is it? Isn't there an eel or something that you gotta fight? Kind of like this in a... Twilight
Morpheal
Princess?
from Twilight Princess, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Except less
The
creepy.
boss that I don't think I've ever been attacked by once it goes into its second phase.
I don't think it even can attack you. I don't think it even has attacks in its second phase. It's just like chase it down and enjoy the spectacle.
I mean, it looks pretty cool. I'll give him that.
Isn't the Sky Dragon kind of like that too?
Well, no, I thought the Sky Dragon was pretty... Argo Rock was pretty robust mechanically compared to some of the other bosses. Like, that was a fun fight. It wasn't just like a pure spectacle.
Yeah. His final stage to fight was really fun.
Yeah.
He can troll you too by like changing which direction he's gonna go to.
It's like the Mario Party minigame.
Yeah, he's a Mario Party master. That's why Ganon put him in charge of that temple. Link would never make it past. Anywho, we did thankfully make it past the 4 dungeon trials, and now we are going to enter Ganon's Tower proper in the next episode. So stay tuned. We're wrapping this up. Peace.
Bye.